What is up, guys? impaKt here again with another full game with commentary. This time I'm actually playing Annie, and this is going to be just like the Sona game. Low replay still sucks ass. Therefore, I must do commentary on top of one of my stream recordings. Yay! But yeah, this game, I'm playing Annie, and just like last game, I'm duo queuing with my fellow jungler, Vi, pretty much. We're running Gragas, Nasus, MF, Vi, and Annie. This was actually a really good game to play. It felt really damn well. And you guys also, I think a lot of you may have already seen the quick tip video that I did for Annie. In that quick tip video, I actually recommended I recommended you get Disintegrate at level 1 instead of Incinerate for the early game harassment. And I also recommended you start with Doran's Ring. So in this game, I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to start Doran's Ring, and I'm going to start Disintegrate. So you actually get to see the power of that starting options, pretty much. And I'm going against the Thresh. So Thresh does deal well against Annie, especially after the nerf. Remember that this is patch 4.1, so her stun at early stages of the game her stun was nerfed at early stages of the game, so it only stuns people for 1 second until 1.25, yeah, something like that, until I've reached level 6. Which kind of sucks, because it doesn't suck. It was a pretty mandatory nerf. The goddamn stun duration was so damn broken. 1.75 seconds at level 1. Seriously, like those trades were unbelievably good. So this was actually a pretty decent nerf. It was a nerf that had to be done. So yeah, Thresh and Nazriel. And what I'm going to do now is, well, pretty much avoid harassment and harass myself. Like, against Ezreal, you pretty much want to stay behind minion lines. I actually queued a minion by mistake there. Goddamn smart guess. But yeah, you want to stay behind your minion line so you don't get queued by Ezreal, unless you really want to deny creeps, for instance. Because that could be pretty damn meh. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Okay, just something that I feel like I should let you guys know here. I get caught by Thresh, right? But I only got caught there because I already had my stun ready. So that means I'm gonna be pulled in, but I'm gonna stun Ezreal, and I ignited him, so he just backed off, right? Which pretty much means that they're now lower. The trade was actually beneficial for us, and getting caught by Thresh's hook is, well, it's never a good thing, right? But the only reason why I did that was pretty much because I had stun. Misfortune actually gets a little too hyphy here. She gets kind of baited by Ezreal's barrier, which kind of sucked. And Elise is gonna camp the crap out of us, so that kind of sucks as well. And I actually flash here because I thought she was gonna cocoon me as soon as she came out of the spider form. She didn't, but anyway, it's all good because I was just gonna. I actually waited for the minion line to arrive to the lane before I flashed, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to block the cocoon with my minions. So that wasn't just a random flash to get out of the range. It was a flash that I considered before actually before flashing. When you're playing against something that requires clear line of sight to actually land the CC, like Thresh, like Elise and stuff like that, you pretty much need to like the best flashes are the ones that are gonna block the actual line of sight. So that's pretty much what I did there. Waited for my minion line to get to the lane, and then I flashed to block the cocoon. So yeah, back to the lane. MF kinda. This is the thing. Like, she got baited by Ezreal's barrier, and she actually flashed to try to get the kill, but she shouldn't have. Mainly because she didn't need to, right? You don't need to force things like that. If your opponents burned summoner spells just to get away from you, it's already a win. Because they're gonna have to play safer. Meaning you can zone them out more effectively. You can zone them out easier, like really damn easily. So there is no need to actually flash to get a kill like that, unless it's completely guaranteed. If she got the kill there, Ezreal would have lost like 2 waves to the turret, so it would have been fine. But you always need to know your opponent's summoner spells cooldowns. If Ezreal has barrier, then it's iffy. But yeah, as I said, we're gonna get somewhat camped this game. Elise is here, but like I told you guys, Ramaj was actually duo queuing with us, with me, sorry. So he actually came for the counter gank, which was just that. That's the counter. We don't need to get kills, mind you. Like, counter ganks don't. It doesn't mean you're gonna get kills. It just means that your opponents are not gonna get kills, pretty much. The most successful counter ganks are the ones where you still burn summoner spells or get kills, but still don't need to. And I actually got caught here. This was actually pretty dumb by me, because I wasn't expecting Elise to stay there, because Vi was still bottom kinda, but they probably had the river warded, so they saw her go mid, and I didn't expect them to have the river warded by then. So I didn't expect Elise to go to play that aggressive. But yeah, and that kind of sucked as well, because MF stayed in an aggressive position for some reason, and I actually asked her what happened there, but she's like, "What, MF? You don't war, you don't harass." Okay, so I'm just blocking MF. This is one of the things, like, a lot of people ask me, how do you deal with people that always trash talk and people that don't say anything good? Here's the thing. I didn't play well there, right? And I was actually... She's screwing up quite often here. But still, like, I didn't play well either. And I'm not gonna focus on the game if I just keep talking to her. Because it doesn't matter. Like, the least I talk to her, the more she'll focus on the game, and the more I'll focus on the game. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna block her. I'm just gonna mute her. Not because she's trash talking, not because she's trash, but just because I need to focus on the game, and I know that I'm not gonna be able to focus on the game if I continue talking to her. So I just mute MF, and then at the end of the game, I'll just unmute her. But yeah, just use that mute button if you have to. You don't need to keep people on your ignore list for as long as your account is active. Just mute people if you need to focus on the game. Don't be too afraid of using that option. So once again, pretty much harassing people with my Q, stacking up that passive. And I also got an ancient coin to keep my gold income flowing, and I got boots so I can actually escape and position better with my stun. And I also got 2 HP pots to make sure I have good trading potential. Thresh and Ezreal are kind of poke based before they get level 6, so that is pretty much what I'm doing. I want to get HP pots to nullify some of their poke. Thresh actually gets 6 now, which is kind of iffy. And I flashed the Ezreal ult there, and we pretty much get the kill on Ezreal. Because that's the thing, like, this was actually a pretty nice play here. As soon as they realized that, and MF just blows the ult to clear the wave. She didn't have the, what the hell, sorry about that, guys. She doesn't have the ult, so that's pretty much why she didn't use it back then. I didn't have my Tibbers either. But here's the thing. That play there, I have flash up, and when you're playing against stuff that needs a clear line of sight in order to land the damage, you can use your flash to avoid some of that damage. And that's what I did. I pretty much waited for Azrael to cast his ult, because as soon as they reach level 6, I know that they wanna do something. They wanna use the level advantage. They wanna use the ult. Since I have my flash up and I do have my stun up, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flash most of Azrael's damage, because, well, he needs clear line of sight. He needs to hit me with those skill shots in order to deal damage, and I'm gonna burst him down on my own, even without Tibbers. Annie's damage without Tibbers is still friggin' insane. And yeah, I do have stun. So, bye-bye, Azrael. We probably wouldn't have gotten the kill if it wasn't for Vi, but still, pretty nice game for from Vi. Even if we didn't get the kill there, it would have still been awesome. Because, to be honest, winning a fight like that, 2 level 5s versus 2 level 6, it's a pretty good sign, dude. If that goes that well when we're level 5, then it's gonna be even better when we reach level 6, especially with Misfortune and Annie's wombo combo, like Tibbers plus the friggin', yeah. So I actually get Azrael and Thresh on my Tibbers. I was actually afraid they saw Vi, so that's pretty much why I was going in so early. But yeah, I actually use my Tibbers. I tell him stand still, pretty much, with my pressing R, and then I position him. I just get behind him as soon as I notice that Thresh wants to counterattack. Why is that? Because Tibbers may deal a lot of damage. He may stun a lot of people at the same time. One thing that you shouldn't neglect is that he has a collision radius. If your enemies have skill shots, you can use Tibbers to block those skill shots. I'm not telling you to just cast Tibbers in front of you if you're getting hooked. Sometimes it may be a good idea. What I'm telling you is, don't forget to use Tibbers after you cast them, because that's one of the things. A lot of people just completely neglect Tibbers. You can just press R or Alt and control Tibbers, and like you pretty much have 2 people with you when you cast Tibbers. You have a summon. If you played Dota, for instance, you'd have to know how important it is to control minions that you have allied to you. Like I think, yeah, Shen, for instance, on Dota actually needs to control a lot of minions at the same time, and that's just an example. So Annie is just a really easy version of that. So yeah, don't neglect that crap. And Vi actually goes in on Azrael here, which pretty much gets them the kill, because she got dragged by Thresh's Lantern. That wasn't that good. But still, it's not that bad. To be completely honest with you guys, if the lane is going this well, for now, I'm not too worried. Since I'm playing Annie, and lately I've been I'm just building damage on Annie, I'm not too afraid of that crap, because I know that I'm not just gonna have utility. I'm gonna have a lot of damage as soon as I leave the laning phase. So that's gonna be AD carry with a lot of damage, and me with a lot of damage. So that's pretty much twice the damage leaving the bot lane. So we know that we have a lot of mid game potential. And Elise is here again, so I'm just gonna use Tibbers, and then I'm gonna move Tibbers in front of Thresh, notice, so he can't land the death sentence. So once again, you need to control both Tibbers and yourself at the same time. Now, Elise is gonna stay bottom for a while, because she doesn't realize we have a ward there, and I'm just gonna let her stay there. And go, Tibbers, go aggressive on Elise, so she wastes even more time. I'm playing out here, and Tibbers just fighting people. I do, like, this is one of those things that I shouldn't have done still. As well, I mean, Tibbers gives 50 gold when he dies. You don't want to give 50 gold to your enemy AD carry. So don't just, like, one of the things that people actually do sometimes is you cast Tibbers and then you just tell him to dive someone and get under the turret and take a couple of tower shots, and you don't care what happens to him. He's giving 50 gold to the enemy. it's still a pretty decent chunk of gold, especially early game, so try not to give Tibbers away for free. Even if you have to wait for it to actually die. Don't just give Tibbers away that freely. And I have pretty much enough gold to go for Talisman in my pocket right now, but I'm probably going for Sightstone right now. MF is recalling in a kind of iffy spot. Here's another tip. If you need to recall, make sure you recall in a safe place. This is one of the things that I had to learn the hard way. You need to recall in a safe place so your opponents can't even make you not go back. If you want to go back, then you probably have a reason for it. By being cancelled, by having your recall cancelled, you can be in a really tough position. Because you're going to be forced to stay in line against an opponent that has more items than you, for instance. So always be careful about that. Doesn't matter if you're playing AD or support, whatever. So yeah, at least it's top, so that pretty much means that we can do Drake even against the Lux. Luxes are incredibly risky to do Drakes against because they have so much burst with the ult. Just like Gragas, kinda. But Lux actually has more range. So you can't really ward that well to prevent Lux from ulting Drake. On the other hand, you can ward around Drake to make sure you know where Gragas is. So you need to be kind of careful about some of the mid laners that a few teams can go for if you're contesting these kinds of objectives. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, once again, going back to the mid lane now, because just like I told you on my Sona clip, if the enemy support is roaming mid, you should roam mid as well, unless you're totally sure you can get something out of bot lane, for instance. So in this case, I could have went bottom lane. I'm not too sure if I would have been able to kill Ezreal. Even if I could, they could probably take mid. And you're trading one kill for one objective. Not worth it. Especially in the mid turret. So it's not worth it at all. Because we need the mid turret in order to keep the pressure on the enemy team. If the mid turret falls, you have a lot of control of the jungle. Because you get to see that little path between jungles, and I really don't know what the hell MF is doing here. She pretty much got chunked by Ezreal there, and she still went for kills instead of going back. So yeah, I need to go back. I need to go bottom so I can just protect the turret, because I don't want the turret to fall really. And yeah, Ezreal's here, so I'm just harassing him, right? And notice that I'm still keeping I use my stun, but I'm keeping it up again. And this is what happens, pretty much. I think he dies here. Yeah, MF ult. So what happened here was Ezreal went really aggressive because he thought I didn't have my stun, but at level 9 my cooldowns aren't that huge. So it means that I can just get my stun up again without any diminishing returns in like a heartbeat, in like 3 seconds. He didn't expect me to have the stun up as fast as I did. So I noticed that he's still playing aggressive. I noticed that he's not accounting for my CC. So that's pretty much what I do. I just keep rotating my spells so I get my passive, and I use Tibbers on him. And it pretty much gets a kill. Thresh tries to help, he dies as well, and then we get the bottom turret. So that's I've said this a lot of times already. Annie's cooldowns are incredibly low for the amount of damage she does and for the utility she brings to a team. At level 9, having stunned that often, just because I can rotate so easily between my skills, it's so damn powerful. So we're trying to take blue here, so I just wanna protect my team from Ezreal pretty much. Wanna make blue as safe as possible. And Ezreal actually plays too aggressive there, so he gets caught. I actually have no idea what the hell is going on in his head. But if this happens to you, if you see a lot of people contesting your blue and you don't have a lot of teammates with you, just back off. You don't want to try and do something on your own. If a team is committing to steal a buff, then probably they have a lot of numbers there. And if they do, you're probably gonna get killed if you try contesting it on your own. So yeah, as for items, I just went for sorcerer shoes because as I said, I've been building damage on any. I do build a talisman for utility. I'm not just building damage for the sake of it. I'm building utility and damage just because this is solo queue, guys. So first of all, the enemy carries are gonna miss position because it's solo queue. Everyone makes mistakes, so I want to abuse that mispositioning, and I want to burst them down if I can. If a support is able to burst one of the carries down, it's incredibly good because you're not supposed to do it anyway. So it really is a 4v5. Ezreal's pretty much saying that Thresh is AFK here, but it's not the case. You'll see it in a pretty short while. And MF actually manages to steal red buff, which was actually pretty cool, even though it was kind of risky. What the hell? It was kind of risky, but it's fine. She actually managed to get it, so whatever. We might say anything. So at this point, we're pretty much steamrolling. We got a lot of kills, we got a lot of objectives, we're controlling dragons, and now I noticed that Nisus is bottom and Gragas is roaming, so I'm just gonna help them out, and I'm gonna... Okay, here Rumble actually flashes my ult. That was actually pretty damn nice, because he used the Fog of War in order to let me believe that he was there, so he just flashed when I couldn't see him, and that actually makes me miss my Tibbers, so that was actually well played by him. But yeah, we get another kill, nonetheless. Lux dies mid, so right now we're pretty much steamrolling the game. Another thing that I should mention is that at this point, none of the enemies can just look at me as if I'm just the support. I have a lot of damage. If someone from the enemy team who's not a little bit tanky tries to 1v1 me, they're gonna die. Annie's base damage is ridiculous. I have crap loads of damage, and I have the sorcerer shoes to just help with the magic pen. So yeah, it's getting to the point where Annie's actually stronger than she used to be. Remember that Annie's early game is now weaker, but her mid game and late game are now stronger. I can't do anything there because I have no mana. But still, we're pretty much pushing every single lane. And now MF should have used the ult here. She doesn't. We still get the kill on Rumble. But Elise is following now. We have Drake to do, but they're having none of that crap. Elise is chasing me. I know I have flash, but she doesn't chase me because she's pretty sure that I can flash. So I'm just gonna use the time to well, go back to the team fight. I don't have stun, which kind of sucks, but I still have pretty much enough range and auto attack damage to get a couple of assists, and maybe like you don't have to be in a team fight. How do I put this? Sometimes you just go back because you have no mana or no HP or whatever, and you feel like you're not going to be able to do anything. Just by being there, you're kind of confusing the enemies. Alright, so I'm there, right? And now put yourself in Lux's or Elise's position, or in Elise's shoes, sorry. She's gonna look at me and she's gonna think, okay, this guy has almost no mana, but he may have Tibbers. Maybe I should burst him down. So you're in the even if you're just baiting out damage from your enemies, you're still giving your AD carry or carries enough time to deal damage to the enemies, right? Because you're one more person there. You're one more member of the enemy team. You're making them back off because they see a lot of people in the fight. You're making them back off because they're afraid you might be able to do something. or they even may want to just damage you, and your teammates are just gonna be able to dish out some more free damage because they're not focusing them, right? So I'm not saying you should always stick to a team fight, but you should have this in consideration as well. And Ezreal is actually trying to 1v1 MF right here, but I already got her so damn fed that Ezreal pretty much can't do anything. And MF didn't even use barrier there. So I actually get cocooned and thingy here and that sentence. But I was actually expecting my team to follow up a little bit faster, but it's still no biggie because I still managed to land my Tibbers with the stun on 2 of them, and Thresh did have to blow his flash in order to get me. It's not that big of a deal. So as for items, I'm going Sorcerer Shoes because of magic penetration, so I want to have that little extra movement speed and I want to deal more damage. And I'm building Morellonomicon for the 75 AP, and I'm building it not because of the passive, but because this is actually funny. Not because of the passive, but because I actually want the cooldown reduction. I want to have 40% cooldown reduction on any. 40% cooldown reduction on any right now is so damn huge. At level 16, you're gonna drop a Tibbers on top of someone's head, right? And it's gonna last for 45 seconds. At level 16, if you have 40% cooldown reduction, your Tibbers cooldown is gonna be 48 seconds. So 3 seconds after your Tibbers dies, you're gonna be able to drop another one on top of your enemy's head. And is it really snowing here? What the heck? Anyway, just controlling the Baron area right now, because I'm pretty damn sure that we want to go for Baron next, because we're so damn strong that we really can't contest Baron without doubt. So you need to adapt. Like a lot of people, and I actually have to make a video about this. A lot of people ask me what they should ward nowadays, because you can only ward 3 places at the same time, right? You have to adapt your wards as a support to what you're contesting. So if you're playing in the laning phase, then you need to pretty much ward the ganking routes. If you got the turret down and you're pushing the second bot lane turret, then you need to ward the paths to that lane. You need to make it as safe as you possibly can. MF gets caught there, and then I get caught as well, and this goes really damn bad for us. We have to go back here. I shouldn't have went in here, but since they blew some stuff on MF, I thought I could do something. And I think we actually end up winning this fight, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't that bad, but MF shouldn't have gotten caught there, and neither should have I, to be honest. But yeah, Greg is a complete beast right now. But yeah, as I was saying, if I'm pushing the second bot lane turret, the inner turret, then I need to ward the path to that lane. We need to make it as safe as we possibly can. If we're trying to control Drake, you need to ward the path to Drake. And when you get to that point, when you're gonna try and contest Baron, you need to ward the path to Baron. You need to make it as safe as you possibly can. So yeah, that's what you should be focusing on. If you have Sidestone, then you need to ward the things that you want to contest, pretty much. You just need to adapt your warding spots a lot more than you used to. Because you could pretty much ward every single spot on season 3, always the same, and it would have been fine. But now we just have to adapt, and it's actually a more dynamic way of warding. So I kind of like this change. I have Talisman now, so I can really help Vi engage with my increased movement speed. So notice that I told you guys that I built damage, but I'm still building utility. So Morellonomicon is gonna give me cooldown reduction, which means I'm gonna have a lot of and as well as Talisman. So I'm gonna have a lot of cooldown reduction, so I can just spam my skills and I can get my stun as fast as possible. So that's building for your team as well. I have my Tibbers up. I'm gonna, as soon as I reach level 16, I'm gonna have my Tibbers every 48 seconds with this kind of cooldown reduction. That's building for your team anyway, even if you're building damage. Okay. Talisman is purely for utility. I just want to help Vi engage right here. I actually get a couple of shots by Baron, from Baron there, because I really wanted to remove that ward. It's still no biggie because I'm gonna regen it in a heartbeat. But and I'm also gonna have my flash up and ready. So that's one of the things that you need to be counting on as well. Annie has a lot of engaging potential. She's somewhat like Sona in a way. You have a lot of AoE CC, but your range isn't that huge. However, if you ally that skill or those mechanics to a flash, then you will have a lot of damage. So there's kind of a power spike as soon as you have your flash up. So you should absolutely watch out for these timers. I actually used my flash there to get onto Lux, but I wasn't expecting the Thrash Lantern. Actually, I wasn't expecting Lux to click the lantern, because no one clicks it anyway. But she actually clicks lantern, so I kind of blow my flash up for nothing there. But it's still not that big of a deal because we're so ahead. Now, if you're behind, you don't want to waste flash like this. You want to make sure you get something. And that's one of those things that happen in lower elos as well, if you guys are wondering. Like, is it worth to burn flash to get a kill? Yes, but only if you get an objective afterwards. The game isn't about kills, the game is about objectives. The game doesn't end until the last objective is down, which is Nexus. That's an objective. It's all about objectives, and you need to always be able to do something when you kill someone. So I'm not really engaging here, I'm just trying to zone people out, but my team actually thought I was engaging, so this goes terribly wrong, pretty much. MF gets caught there again, so that's gonna be a kill, and I also get caught there, and that kind of sucks because and Gragas is gonna flame me a little bit. I didn't want to engage there. I wanted to zone them out. I'm not gonna be of any substantial use to the members that are doing Baron, but I am going to be of some substantial use if I'm to peel. I'm to keep them from entering the Baron area. Because if you think about it, Gragas can poke them, but he can't really keep them away from Baron without using his ult, because that's his form of CC. Me, on the other hand, my ult isn't as important as Gragas because I have less damage. So his ult is more important in a team fight than mine is. So that's pretty much why I went there and I used my ult, to give my team enough time to actually get Baron and help Gragas not blow his ult. Unfortunately, he didn't get it, so that's pretty much why the fight goes so horribly wrong, because we end up engaging from my zoning, and it kind of sucked. But it's still not that big of a deal because we're so freaking ahead. Every single time one of these fights goes, and you've heard me say this a lot of times, it's not that bad. That's pretty much because in many of those situations, the outcome is not the optimal outcome. So it's not a really one team fight. It's not something. In some cases, we get 3 for 3, for instance, and I say it's not that bad because, well, it's not that bad, but it could have been better. But we're still getting kills. We're still getting stronger. So is the enemy team, but still, it could have been a lot worse. So that's pretty much why I keep saying it's not that bad. And in that case, Gragas also gets some kills, Nisus gets some more beefy, and to be completely honest, like, Vi, Gragas, and Nisus are pretty much late game annoyances. Vi just for the utility, and Gragas for the amount of damage, and Nisus for being a filthy little dog that he is. We actually get Thresh here. which is a cool pickup, but it's still risky to do Baron with just Thresh being down because he's the support and they still have a Lux. Remember what I said about being careful about contesting objectives with these kind of mid laners. You need to be careful, but as kind of mispositions and he gets caught by Vi, which means he gets pretty much one-shotted by Gragas. That was a lot of damage. And we're just chasing, pretty much. That's what happens when you don't have sight of Baron and you want to contest it, right? So that's pretty much why I was trying so hard to get vision of Baron and deleting the enemy's vision. It's just so that this kind of stuff happens. And right now, we should probably go back, but we just deleted a couple of enemies, so we want to push mid lane because we can get mid lane's turret. Actually, Gragas kind of dies there, which was kind of unfortunate because he Zhonya's at the wrong time. Ping doesn't help, but I do have my stun ready. Notice, and I do have flash up. So that's going to be a lot of damage, and that's going to be a lot of CC. And I noticed that Lux is on the side, so I'm just going to ward that. Actually, I was going to ward that, but I get the back ping. But I was going to ward that little backside of the bush so I could just flash ult Lux, just in case. And MF ends up dying again, but she takes Lux with her, so not that bad. We're just getting blue here, pretty much. Azrael kind of goes in too deep, so I just flashed for the Tibbers. I actually didn't need to use flash there because I didn't notice that Vi had the ult up again. Oh, a donation, hooray! I didn't notice Vi had the ult up, so I didn't even have to flash. I just didn't want to risk losing Azrael there. So yeah, I'm going for Zhonya's this game as well, just because I want that little extra armor and. Not because of the armor, actually. I want to get Zhonya's because Lux has been using... Zhonya's is incredibly good. I'm not saying on support, but it's incredibly good when you're facing these kinds of bursty champions. As soon as they go for that little burst on you, you can just pretty much press Zhonya's and you ignore that huge amount of burst. That's what I want to do with Lux. I want to go in, Tibbers, and as soon as she tries to ult me or something, I'll just use Zhonya's and allow my team to just follow up with Talisman or something like that. So that's pretty much why I'm building Zhonya's, as well as damage. What else should I tell here? Alright, so Gragas pretty much ignores Lux's ult there, and he kind of wants to go in really, really deep. But I want to get the rate so I can actually get Zhonya's, because it's another kind of power spike on Annie, because Annie does scale well with AP, so I'm gonna be dealing a lot of damage, and I do have enough money for Zhonya's now. So that's 2 AP items and Sorcerer Shoes. This one isn't utility based, but it's still gonna help my team. And yeah, actually Gragas and MF get a kill on Thresh. Not that big of a deal for them. It is important for them, of course, but this is what really matters. As soon as Thresh dies, the enemy team tries to get something out of that trade, and they end up giving away even more kills. So that is the main problem with that play, right there. A lot of people just... This goddamn cell phone, everyone's trying to talk to me today. Sorry about that, guys. But this is kind of what happens. Every single time a member of a team screws up, other members try to cover it up for them, and they end up even screwing things even harder. And that's kind of what happens this game. I didn't get a lot of kills this game, but it was still a fun game to play, especially that little flash on Azrael's ult there. It just goes to show how much damage you can just avoid just with a little flash when playing against these kinds of champions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this game, guys. I hope I kind of helped out. No speeding things up again, no slowing things down. But I really hope this video helps you guys out. It was actually a pretty damn fun game to play, and I'm actually enjoying Annie a little more now that I can actually start with Q and Endurance Ring and stuff like that than I used to. Just because she's not as OP during the landing phase, but she's actually really damn strong anyway. So I really like her, and I really enjoy playing with her. Alright, so really hope this helps you out, guys. That's another 40-minute video. Holy shit. Thanks for sticking with me this long. And if you have anything to say, feel free to use the comment section down below. Facebook, Twitter, or even my stream chat if you like. If you enjoyed the video, you can also join my stream, because I stream this this kind of game all the time, and I do commentary and whatnot with a little humoristic side, if you will. But yeah, I'm saying "oh" too many times, so sorry about that. But yeah, that is indeed all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it's helpful, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.